Alright, hey guys, Fiddlefared here, and welcome back to another episode of Sweetest Monster. We're now on day 2. I don't know if it's just going to be 3 days in this game or what, but we're through the first day. So let's go ahead and just continue. The breakfast table is quiet the following morning. Shafts of sunlight divide the table in two, me on one side, Sally on the other. Melly isn't here. She hardly ever is. I know that, but I still ask. Why isn't Melly here? You know why? Sally sighs, setting her newspaper to one side. It crumples in the face of UKIP politician splashes across the front cover, distorts, the head collapsing in on itself. It's because she doesn't want to talk with you. I nod, taking another sip of my coffee. Try and play it cool. We're just discussing the fact that my only daughter probably can't love me anymore. Did she already go to school? A nod. Is this the silent treatment? How mature. Melly didn't need to do that. I'd give her a lift if she wants. Melly's school, St. Catherine's, is only a short walk away from the Wheatcroft Juniors, but that's probably why Melly refuses to let me drive her there in the first place. Having a primary school teacher as a father, and not just a primary teacher, but a music teacher, she must be embarrassing, especially when I had the pleasure of teaching most of her school friends only a few years ago. Not that Melly has any friends. If she does, I've certainly never met them. Melly doesn't like asking for favors. She keeps herself to herself. Especially when I'm around. I can't blame her for that. Oh, that stings. It's a little too early in the morning for caustic comments. I apologize. I'm just trying to rein my acid tongue in until at least 4:30 in the afternoon. Thank you. It would be appreciated. I laughed dryly and set my mug of coffee down on its coaster. Sally always gets mad when I forget to use one. Depressing though it may seem, today is a normal day. Sally and I ate at the table, embalmed in our own respective silences. It's been like this for a good year or so. There's no reason why it shouldn't be like this now. Even though the events of last night were so fantastical, they might as well have been a dream. Perhaps they were a dream. Nothing seems to have changed. I get to my feet, depositing the cup in the sink. My car keys jangle in my pocket. I'll be going then. Have a good day. Sally's looking at the newspaper again, holding it in both her hands so the broadsheet threatens to swallow her whole. She doesn't look back at me. How cruel. What if I got into an accident on the way to work? What if I died? About 5 people die on the roads every day in Britain. Those are indisputable facts. I could be one of those statistics someday. But Sally doesn't seem to care. Maybe she'd be happier that way. I'm sure Melly would. Damn. I mean, the problem is, especially so far in this game, I don't know what to think. Obviously, because I'm in the eyes of Robin, am implied I want to take his side, but I don't really understand why his daughter hates him so much, and why their relationship with his wife is so bad. Oh, excuse me. It's kind of late. I'm sure that that's not all just them. I'm sure he obviously has something to do with it, but to what extent, I guess? Has he tried? He seems to be a somewhat nice, genuine guy, but what's transpired before this? As I walk out the front door, shielding my eyes from the intrusive sunshine, I think about Sally. I think about Melly. I think about myself and sigh, a deep, self-pitying sigh. Meeting Belle last night must have been a dream. Some form of escapism. I bet most rapidly approaching middle-aged men have fantasies about young girls finding them attractive. What other purpose do those raunchy calendars with half-naked women have, if not to stroke egos? Sally always says men are disgusting. I must be too, having a dream like that. At least, I don't like Marinite, unlike Sally. Now, Marinite really is disgusting. Exposed to the light of day, my hazy recollections of some 10 hours past are distorted. I can hardly remember what the girl looked like, other than those eyes, those bright burning eyes. I shake my head. It never happened. It was just a delusion. A dream of better things, beyond my humdrum job and arguments with my wife. I should be old enough now to know better. I should be. But that doesn't mean I am. Like the mornings, the day passes without event. My year 4 group after lunch were particularly obnoxious. Heather Chambers ended up in tears after Cody Balmer made a disparaging comment about her mother, something along the line of being a prosy, but that was fairly standard. You get used to this stuff when you've been a teacher long enough. It desanitizes you. I feel a bit sorry for Heather though. She's a sweet kid. She doesn't deserve it. I think it must be her red hair. It makes her an easy target. Where do kids ever pick up such vulgar languages? They're only 9. I don't go around calling my classmates' mothers prodigies when I was a kid. I was outside playing with my model aeroplanes. I blame the internet. Of course I do. I'm getting old, and that's what all old people do. The evening passes in similar fashion, dull, monotonous, and completely predictable. I see Melly for all of 10 minutes when we sit at the dinner table for an awkward meal. Sally tries her best to instigate conversations, but Melly keeps her head bowed, half submerged in an oversized folds of her hoodie, and replies with a vague ums and ums. And she looks tired and keeps rubbing her eyes. I worry she'll pitch forward and end up face first in her mashed potatoes. I hope she's getting enough sleep at night. That's what she has the melation for? Joan Flower said it would help. Is it a drug or something? Not that I trust Joan Flowner. It starts getting dark. I find myself sitting in the living room with Sally, staring at some insipid show on TV without really watching it. Sally and I sit together, but we don't talk. We hardly ever talk. Not unless we have something to complain about. How did this happen? How did we let this happen? Or maybe it's not a case of letting. Maybe this is what awaits all marriages somewhere along the line. A hallucination honeymoon period followed by disappointments, differences, and gradual decay. The thought is so depressing, it's enough to rouse me from my sleepy stupor. My subconscious shifts to guilty. I know I shouldn't, but I keep thinking about her. It's not good. Was I so desperate for anything to save me from this rut, that I started hallucinating? There's no way Great Aunt Clarence's cat could really be a cute girl. No way. Am I going crazy? Is this what having a midlife crisis feels like? Hey, Sal. Huh? She makes a small noise, registering my words, but she doesn't reply. Not properly. And, am I that undeserving of her attention? That stings a little, Sal. I'm gonna make coffee. You want one? Oh, sure. Milk and sugar, right? She nods. I've been married to her long enough that I don't need to double check, but I do it all the same. Suddenly, terrifyingly, she feels like a complete stranger. That's a hell of a transition, honestly. What a subtle change to just get rid of the background and replace it with just a black void. That's subtle, but that's a powerful shift in tone. Sally might be my wife, my Sally Pally, but how well do I really know her? I know that she giggles like a kid on helium when you prod her belly button. I know she has a mole on the underside of her right foot. I know spicy food makes her nose run. I know she saw Grizzle 6 times when it came out in the cinema when she was a little girl. I know how she makes the white sauce for Christmas puddings, a secret recipe she guards jealously from the rest of our family. I know she takes her coffee with milk and sugar. But at the same time, I feel like I don't know anything about her at all. Right, I'll get it for you in a sec. Thanks. No problem. Our interaction sounds casual, completely natural, but it makes me feel tense. We were having an argument this time yesterday evening about Arabella. Arabella White, of all people. Arabella sobbing White. Are we going to pretend that never happened? Maybe that's why Sally's ignoring me. Maybe she's mad at me. Or maybe she isn't ignoring me. Maybe she has nothing to say. Isn't that even worse? Is that how little I mean to her? I rise to my feet and pad to the kitchen. I take out 2 mugs from the cupboard. Sal's has a picture of a snork maiden on it. It's one of her favorites. I set them on the counter and start to rifle through the fridge. Ah! Houston, we have a problem. Sally, there's no milk. She doesn't respond. Maybe she can't hear me, though it seems unlikely. I'm a quiet person by nature, but I developed a rather loud shouting voice after working at wheat fields for so long. It was inevitable, really. Kids do that to you. But Sally doesn't say a word. I didn't want a cup of coffee that much, but I guess this small errand will give me something to do. That was the only reason why I came out to the kitchen to begin with. To escape. I'm gonna go to the store and pick some up. Is that okay? Still no response. I take the silence as confirmation. I close the door of the fridge with a dull thud. Right, I'll be back in 10 minutes. See, I mean, I feel like he's trying, to some extent. I don't know. I feel like he's kind of making an effort. Silence. Nothing more, nothing less. I can't say I'm surprised. I walk along the riverside, my hands jammed into my pockets. My fingers brush against the cold metal of my keys, strangely reassuring in their clunkiness. At least that's one thing that will never change. The chill of my house keys against the palm of my hand. The weather's been particularly temperamental lately. It's hot during the days but cold at nights. It just can't make up its mind, trapped between spring and summer. That's May for you. I shiver into my jacket, expelling my breath into the chilly air. I could have taken the car, but I fancied a walk. The sound of my footsteps against the pavement is comforting. A little physical exercise never hurt anybody. Even if the cold isn't particularly pleasant, I need to work out more. That's what I tell myself. But I know I have ulterior motives. I want to see her again. That girl. But she isn't here. The bridge over the river is empty, devoid even of late-night joggers and dog walkers. Come to think of it, I haven't seen a single soul since I started my mini odyssey. Are there no other men out trying to avoid their wives? The thought makes me feel a bit lonely. I'm a fool. As if she would be out here at this time. It's late. Good girls should be indoors at this hour doing their homework. Not that she goes to school. I don't know if there are many schools in the area that accept cat spirits. I'll have to ask around. I cross the bridge with a heavy heart, trying to set my own I don't know how to say that. I know what it means, but aside. How pathetic. A grown man like me shouldn't be swooning after a young girl. especially not a young girl who might be part cat, but is almost definitely 100% daydream. The wind stirs the leaves in the trees overhead. The water beneath the bridge glows beneath the light of the moon. Bell might not be here, but the abandoned shopping trolley is. In all of this ghostly glory, it looks mysterious in the dark. Its metal skeleton shimmering in the moonlight. An exotic creature of the deep. Ah, I can hear, just beyond the soft moan of the wind, another sound. A dull creak carried on the breeze. I think I know what it is. There's a small park on the opposite side of this river with rusty old equipment. A climbing frame, a slide, a couple of seesaws, and a few swings. I used to go there with Melly back when she was a little girl and didn't feel embarrassed being seen in public with me. I used to push Melly on those swings, and they would creak. They needed oiling even back then, and a fresh coat of paint. She would laugh, delighted, her bobbed head fluttering in the breeze. It's different now, of course. She doesn't laugh like she used to. I don't think she could, even if she tried. I pause, overrun with nostalgia. I'm sure it's just a few local kids pissing about, wasting time with their parents while their parents worry, but I'm suddenly curious. It wouldn't hurt to take a quick look in the park. Sally wouldn't mind. I doubt I could make our relationship any worse than it already is. Oh, I was wondering if we'd run into each other again. You. That's right, it's me, in the flesh. For a limited period only. Roll up, roll up. She ceases her swinging, the heel of her right foot pressed against the ground, the tips of her head to one side. A playful grin flits across her lips. She looks happy to see me, genuinely happy. Her green eyes, framed by her dark hair, sparkle. I'm not used to people being pleased by my present. It catches me off guard. She's very good at doing that. Now, what are you doing here at a time like this? I fold my arms, using my best teacher voice. Not that it has much of an effect on her. She only grins. Huh? A girl can't go for a swing in the park, can she? She shouldn't be at 10 o'clock. It's dark. I don't know what kind of people could be out here. Oh my! Do you think there are all kinds of scary men who would leap at the chance to ravish a beautiful young thing like me? I didn't say it in so many words, but I suppose so, yes. Men like you mean? I groan. I think I rather walked into that one. I'm not going to ravish you. I just wanted to buy some milk. How disappointing. She pouts, her lower lip jutting out like a misbehaving child. Her fluffy tail swings in the breeze. The ears protruding from the top of her head twitch. The fact that her ears and tail begin with is bizarre, but the overall effect is rather cute. It does raise one or two questions, though. Is it safe to have those out in public? What? The ears. I gesture towards them, and Belle gives a small prod, as though she's never seen them before in her life. They twitch again. Oh, you mean these? Doesn't it go without saying? Well, it might be a little risky, but I'm a girl who loves gambling. If you want to win big, risk big, and all that stuff. What are you hoping to win by wandering around at night with a pair of cat ears sticking out of your head? Oh, I don't know. Your love and affection, maybe. And how do you know I'd happen to stumble upon you here? Most middle-aged men don't wander around parks in the middle of the night. Not unless they want to end up on the front of the cover of Daily Telegraph with a wildly exaggerated statistic about the prevalence of pedophilia in the ritual UK attached to their name. Call me a cynic, but I don't think that would work wonders for my career. I just had a feeling, that's all. A feeling? Yup, I find myself drawn by your side, no matter where you are, or what you do. It's because I love you, darling. Don't call me that. Why not? Because we're out in public and somebody might see us. One of my students, for example.
But I thought you said good girls don't go out this late at night.
They shouldn't, no. Not if they should know what's good for them.
Then it's no problem. There's nobody to disturb us here. Here, have a seat.
She pats the empty swing beside her. It swings in the breeze, the rusted chains creaking like something possessed. Man, I don't like how many references this game makes to demons, possessed. I have a bad feeling. I don't know if that's very safe. If the playground at Wheatfields looked anything like this one, Oxford wouldn't shut us down quicker than you could say potential lawsuit.
Don't be like that. You might be a bit bigger than me, but I'm sure this one can handle it.
I'd rather not take that chance. My life is difficult enough as it is. I don't want to add a broken leg or fractured spine to the pile of pre-existing problems. I really only went out to get that milk. Sally will get mad if I'm not back on time.
Then will you stop by the park? Then why did you stop by the park?
I pause, rubbing a hand against the back of my neck. She's got me. She's got me, and she knows she's got me, because the smirk on her face widens. Deadly. Devouring.
Well, if you really can't spare time to hang out with little old me, it's alright, I understand.
You do. I'm almost sorry to hear her say that, though I was trying to rebuff her advances, making excuses, that's all they were. Excuses.
Yeah, I don't want to put pressure on you. It isn't attractive when girls are too needy, but...
She gets to her feet, the swing creaks in protest, swaying precariously. Her legs protruding from the bottom of her dress are pale and white, almost dangerously so. If it weren't for the wide smile on her face, I might think she was sick. Isn't she cold, sitting on the swings in such a thin dress? So sheer that I can see her shoulders through the transparent straps? Cat girls really are particular.
I want to come with you. There's something from the store I want to try.
Oh, why don't you go and buy it then?
Because I don't have any money, duh. I've only been able to assume this form a few days. I'm hardly in any fit state to apply for a job. And I don't know what skills I have to offer when I'm still getting used to having opposable thumbs.
She pauses, her green irises darting to the right.
I guess I could always sell my body, become a lady of the night. How does that sound?
It sounds unwise.
Are you worried about my chastity, Robin?
I don't know who I'm worried about, to be honest, you or the client.
Well, it's true that I'm no ordinary girl, but you know that already, don't you?
I am well aware of it. Despite her slender stature, her skinny arms, her inquisitive eyes, there's nothing innocent about Belle. Her eyes, set into her pretty face, are searing. My skin blisters. I shudder. She isn't the kind of person I would want to cross. I don't know the full extent of her powers, and I don't know what she's capable of, but I don't want to find out. Alright, I guess I can buy you something I accidentally clicked.
You would? Really?
Her eyes widen with excitement, like a child's, and she claps her hands together, her ears prick up in alert. That's right, just don't come into the store with me, okay? Somebody might recognize me.
You're ashamed of me, huh?
I don't want my wife to find out. It might be a bit complicated.
Right, I get it. Don't worry about it.
She beams, giving me a quick salute.
I can keep a secret, I promise.
I sigh, my fingers pressed up against the seared edge of my house keys. It stings. This, whatever this is, shouldn't be a secret. Technically, I'm not doing anything wrong. That's always bad when you start to make that leap of thought. Excuse me. I didn't plan to meet Belle out here, I just happened to stumble across her. It's already an illicit tryst. We're not having an affair. But I know, all the same, this isn't something I should talk about, not with anybody. I can't even explain how I feel about Belle to myself, let alone anybody else, let alone Sally. Belle was as good as her word. She waited outside the store obediently when I went inside. Like a puppy collared to the board. Her request was also humble, much to my relief, and easily filled too. An ice cream, a cheap one, only 60p. The kind little kids like, made of milk. Belle sits on the swing once more, and I, though I don't know how, find myself sat next to her. My carton of milk sat in my lap. It leaks coolness into my right thigh, and I feel my skin going numb through my jeans, but I make no motion of moving. I'm too busy watching Belle. She unwraps the ice cream tenderly. Divesting? Oh. Man, I've been messing up so many words this episode. The frozen treat of its wrapping, as though it's something precious, hands the rubbish over to me.
Here you go. Present for you.
Thank you, milady. Much obliged. She giggles, brushing a few strands of hair away from her mouth, and surveys her prize. It's a pale white color, vanilla and shaped like a cylinder. By the way, but why an ice cream of all things?
It's easy to please. It doesn't want to burden you with any extreme requests, like rare jewels or designer clothes.
I'm thankful for it. My budget wouldn't stretch that far, and I doubt the co-op stocks stuff like that.
Then doesn't this work out well for all of us?
I guess. I don't know. It's a bit cold out here for ice cream, don't you think?
I don't mind. I like experiencing different kinds of sensations. Isn't that the best thing about being alive?
Okay, it just seems kind of childish.
Is there anything wrong with being childish? Isn't that the best way to live life? Being excited by little things with wonder and curiosity?
All right, Alice, all right. She giggles, sticking her tongue out at me.
Slides? Ice cream isn't that childish.
Sides, I get it. It was just, okay. It is when it's mini milk.
Ooh, you'd be surprised.
Yo, you could see that coming a mile away. With a, what is that? Coquettish? Honestly, I've never seen that word in my life. Little giggle. She dips her head and drags her tongue along the length of the ice cream. I blink. My cheeks turn pink despite the cold. Of course. I should have known. Why didn't I guess? It must be because of Melly. I associate this particular brand of ice cream so entirely with my 5-year-old daughter. She would have lived on this stuff if I'd let her, that I failed to realize it could be used for other, less innocent purposes. Now I feel foolish. Belle drags her tongue across the shaft over the ice cream a couple times, her eyes half lidded. Once in a while she moans softly, seductively. The noises she makes are soft, barely audible, but I can still catch them, maybe because I'm in a state of hyper-awareness myself. All of a sudden, the sensations about me feel even more acute. The wind through my hair, my feet on the floor, the carton of milk pressed against my thigh. I shiver. What do you think you're doing? Belle lifts her head, a strand of saliva connecting her pale lips with the side of the ice cream. It quivers, semi-transparent for a few moments, like a gossamer spider's web before it snaps.
Isn't it obvious? I'm trying to seduce you, Mr. Hodkins. But why? I don't know. I just like the attention, I guess.
Well, you have my attention. You have it. So you don't need to keep doing that.
Oh,
She giggles, her eyes half lidded.
is this too stimulating for you?
A little light ice cream petting. I just didn't expect it, that's all.
Oh, your cheeks are turning red. How cute.
I'm not cute.
I beg to differ. When you act like that, how can I stop myself? It's only an ice cream, but you're already getting so heated up.
She used to eat those by the handful, my Melly. In the summer, they'd melt and she'd end up with sticky ice cream goo about her cheeks, and I'd have to wipe it away. Belle's cheeks are getting similarly sticky, but the effect it has on me is completely different. Melly was just a little girl, my dear daughter. Belle, on the other hand, she's different. She's different matter altogether. Her own cheeks are glazed a soft coral pink. Her dark eyelashes tremble. She moans softly about the ice cream as she takes it deeply into her mouth. Her lips pursed, her throat tensing, throbbing. Shit. All right, that really is enough. I get to my feet in a hurry, upending the carton of milk as I do so. It hits the grass with a soft thud. The white milk inside it sloshes. Belle draws the ice cream from her lips and blinks up at me, her eyes big, bright, staring. She's enjoying herself. I can tell she's enjoying herself, that little devil. Again, devil. I don't...
What's wrong, Robin? Was that too much for you?
I breathe heavily, my chest rising and falling beneath my coat. I can feel my toes as they curl up against my socks, my thighs as they rub against the denim of my jean trousers. And something else, too. Shit.
Oh my, maybe it really was too stimulating for you after all. I'm sorry.
Belle gives me a look of concern, though I doubt it's very sincere. If it was, she wouldn't give that poor, abused ice cream another covert lick.
You must have it tough, Robin, getting so worked up about something so small. Your wife mustn't treat you very well, if you know what I mean.
Right. I can do without the insinuations about my sex life, thank you very much.
You know, if you are having a bit of a dry spell, I wouldn't mind giving you a helping hand.
Okay, well, I cut her off, my voice a little louder than it should be. It sticks in my throat, and I cough. I'm afraid that, if I let her finish that sentence, I might be tempted to take her up on that offer. I'm a weak man, and I can only take so much temptation before I cave. Is it true my relationship with Sally has been rather... It is true, been rather dry lately, as Belle put it. But I don't know if I'd feel better even if it were having sex on a regular basis. I don't think it would make us like each other more. She probably can't bring herself to be intimate with me, not when she suspects me of cheating on her with Arabella sobbing white. I guess I can't blame her. I wouldn't want to be intimate with anyone who had slept with Arabella White either. If only Sally knew the truth. Arabella White doesn't hold a candle to Belle. Alright, I guess I'm gonna pause here. I think that episode's probably gone on long enough. So anyway, guys, thanks a whole bunch for watching. The plot thickens. Every episode, we honestly get in a little bit deeper, and our resolve falls a little bit more. So it'll be interesting. But anyway, guys, I've been Fiddle Ferret, and I'll see you back on the prowl next time. Bye!